In the infinite black ocean of space, where even starlight forgets to wander, a single, ancient traveler drifts in silence. It is not a ship built for return, nor a probe expecting applause. It is Voyager 2, an emissary cast into the dark by human hands, carrying the memory of Earth, the echo of our curiosity, and the question we dared to ask the cosmos. Are we alone? For nearly half a century, it has slipped through the solar winds, past the orbits of the giants, beyond Neptune, beyond Pluto, and across the invisible curtain where the sun's influence fades to nothing. Out there, between stars, it listened. To the quiet, to the hum, to the ancient radiation of forgotten light. And for decades, there was silence. Until something changed. A pulse. A whisper. A deviation in the data. At first, it was just a blip, a single irregularity in the plasma readings. A brief moment. A flicker in the cosmic static. But then it came again. And again. Not louder, but clearer. A signal with shape. A rhythm not born of chaos. Not background noise. Not random. Not natural. Engineers examined the data, first with suspicion, then with growing unease. Could it be interference? Cosmic rays? System decay? Voyager is old, after all, its circuitry fragile, its memory ancient. But when the pattern repeated, precise, deliberate, refined, the doubts faded. It was not a malfunction. It was a message. Voyager 2 had seen something. And it had recorded what it saw. The data told of an object, hovering far ahead, moving slowly, yet with intention. 500,000 kilometers away, no planets, no comets, no known trajectories. And yet, it moved with Voyager. As if following it. Shadowing it. Mirroring its arc like a predator stalking the trail of its prey. The object adjusted its velocity, subtle changes, just enough to stay close, but not enough to be seen. NASA was not alone in its concern. Military satellites, deep space trackers, independent observers, they all saw it too. And all the data pointed to one truth. Voyager 2 was not alone in the dark. Then came the second revelation. Buried in the transmission logs, a fragment of code Voyager was never built to send. A signal within the signal. Encrypted. Unscheduled. Unexplained. When decrypted, it formed shapes, complex geometric loops, spirals, interwoven curves. Glyphs. Not chaos, but craftsmanship. Some saw echoes of human history in the symbols, ancient markings, sacred spirals, recursions of meaning. Artificial intelligence teams ran analysis after analysis. And the conclusion was unsettling. This signal was not from Voyager. It was writing its transmission, hitchhiking across space. A foreign message, speaking through a human voice. And whatever had crafted it, was responding. Archives were pulled from dusty digital shelves. Voyager 1, decades earlier, had passed this very region. One log, long ignored, showed a flicker in the same data stream, written off as noise. But when reanalyzed with modern tools, it matched Voyager 2's anomaly with eerie precision. The same signature. The same structure. The same pattern. Whatever this presence is, it has been there, waiting in the void. Not lost. Not drifting. But watching. And now, as humanity learns to listen, it chooses to speak. Simulations failed to explain its path. It bent the laws of gravity. In the deep, cold silence between stars, Voyager 2 continued its long descent, a silent ember drifting through a black sea that had never known a sunrise. Its instruments, worn but loyal, kept listening, kept transmitting, even as something in the dark listened back. Back on Earth, the atmosphere and mission control had shifted. What once felt like exploration now felt like trespass. A quiet fear settled into every room where data flowed in from the stars. Not panic, but awe. The kind of awe that knows it's standing at the edge of something vast, and very old. The binary signals had not stopped. Each one now arrived more complex than the last. Longer sequences. Deeper harmonics. The patterns began to echo structures of language, but not like any Earth tongue. They layered recursively, folding into themselves like organic code. The symbols danced with mathematical elegance, fractals, spirals, prime intervals. They were not random. They were designed. And they weren't just speaking. They were studying. A breakthrough came quietly. A small team of linguists, mathematicians, and AI researchers, working in secret, deciphered the beginnings of a universal grammar. Not words. Not syntax. But meaning expressed through mathematical resonance. Geometry as intention. Frequency as emotion. The message wasn't spoken. It was shaped. Not into sound, but into thought. Then came the next change. Voyager 2's onboard gyroscopes began to record tiny, irregular motions. Not mechanical faults. Not drift. But nudges. Subtle. Precise. Directed. As if something, invisible, silent, was pushing the probe off its path ever so slightly. Each adjustment aligned with a spike in the phantom pulse. Like hands in the dark, guiding it towards something unseen. On Earth, radio silence fell over the deep space network. The public was told there were hardware issues, antenna maintenance, routine calibration. But inside the locked corridors of classified science, there was no doubt. Something had taken an interest. And now, it wanted to be found. Another signal arrived, sharper than before. Not just binary. Not just shapes. A new layer emerged. A modulation buried deep in the waveform, so faint, it took quantum processors to detect. When extracted, it revealed something unthinkable. A replica of Voyager 2's own data stream. Mirrored. Modified. Expanded. It was as if the signal was reconstructing the probe. Digitally. Molecularly. Blueprint by blueprint. It knew the probe. Down to the memory circuits. Down to the gold disk. Down to the human fingerprints left on its hull. And it was doing something with that knowledge. The implications were terrifying. This wasn't just contact. It was an invitation or perhaps an initiation. Not a message to us, but about us. A message that said, "We know you're listening. We've been listening too." And now it begins. In secret, global defense systems began to quietly turn their eyes to space. Satellites were retasked. Antennas realigned. Eye-pattern monitors went into silent overdrive. But it was already too late. The sky was no longer quiet. The phantom pulse had grown stronger, no longer faint echoes, but firm, deliberate signatures. They now came from multiple directions. Different timing. Different origins. Yet all pulsing in a perfect lattice of synchronization. Like a network. Or a net. Closing slowly. Then, a silence. No signals. No pulses. No movement. Voyager 2 drifted onward, untouched, unspoken to, for 13 long days. Until it sent a final burst.